Hey guys, this is Craig with Reflections Exterior Services and Rig Pro Custom Wash Systems Made Simple. So real quick, I did want to just clarify that you may see this video on both of my channels. If you're already a subscriber to Reflections Exterior Services, you may or may not know that I have started another YouTube channel, and that's called Rig Pro. I believe if you search in Rig Pro 78, I think it will pull it up. But I'm posting it on both channels right now, and that's just simply to try to get some traction on the new channel. Don't have a ton of subscribers yet, so if you'd be so kind as to subscribe and like that channel, it'd be greatly appreciated. So just wanted to thank you for that in advance, and again, just explain the reason why you might see this video on both channels. Rig Pro is a sister company of Reflections. That's our cleaning side of things. Rig Pro is going to be our building side of things. So just wanted to share that with you. So as you know, if you've been following this, we had a few more pieces come in of our new build, our little mini skid. And as I'm going along, just trying to do a little bit better job of documenting things as I go. And that way you guys can just kind of have a sneak peek at how things are progressing. So as you already know, we've had these 255-gallon tanks come in a couple days ago, and this morning what I did is I went ahead and put in the bulkheads, and then put in a couple Uniseal, quarter-inch Uniseal fittings. This tank is going to be our water tank. So starting from the back, this is going to serve as our rinse port for our downstream injector. We're going to have a line of fresh water coming into a three-way ball valve that will allow us to rinse out the downstream injector. And then of course this is a quarter-inch Uniseal also. This will be the supply line for detergent or bleach, however you want to call it. Up here, this is a 3/4-inch bulkhead, and that is going to serve as our fill port to fill the tank. So a couple of things we have here. We've got our 3/4-inch clear strainer, and that's going to come off of our hose reel basically. And then we're going to have this barbed fitting facing out the other way off of a 90. That's going to be our fill port, and of course filtered water going into the tank. On the bottom side of this, we're going to have, if you were looking on the inside of the tank, we're going to have this 1-inch Hudson float valve on the inside of the tank, and that's going to allow us to be able to turn the water off. Once this tank gets to a fill point, it'll shut off automatically. So a nice feature to have, professional, that way you're not wasting customers' chemical or water, and you're not just using water excessively. And then here on the right hand side, this is going to be our bypass bulkhead. So there's going to be a 90 off of this with a 3/8 fitting, and that's going to serve as a hose that's going to come down back to our unloader. A lot of times you see that. Let's see if I can show you. This is a little bit of a hodgepodgey mess right now, but basically at the top of the tank here you see these fittings. These are bypass lines, 3/8. So basically when you take your hand off the trigger, you're going to have a continuous loop of water coming from the tank to your pump and back in, so you don't have to worry about your pump overheating. And then on the bottom, we put in a 1-inch bulkhead, and that works out great because we're going to put a 1-inch T on this, and we're going to tee off that way for our supply line to our pressure washer. And then on this side, we're going to have a dump feed, hand wash, eye wash station for this side. So this part's always a little bit scary. If you've ever, had to put bulkheads in the tanks, once you pretty much penetrate that wall, you're married to it. There's no real going back. So you have to take your time and lay it out the way you want. Make sure that you've got the correct hole saw bits. So a lot of times, you guys are going to use these hole saw bits for your bulkhead fittings. For example, I believe this one goes to this right here. You can see, it matches the width and the diameter of what you're drilling. You don't want to go too big, especially on the bottom. On the top, it might not matter as much because, you know, you're not dealing with a volume of water that's going to, you know, come out. When you're on the bottom, obviously, you want that to be nice and tight. You don't want to have any leaks coming out of the bottom of it. So, again, you just have to take your time. Make sure you rinse your tank out really well. You know, you don't want those shavings all getting pulled into your pump. And then one final thing I just wanted to share with you guys, a tool to get those bulkheads in. Believe it or not, good old fashioned hanger. I'm not going to bore you with the details. You know, you can go on YouTube and there's plenty of videos. I didn't bother to do it because I'm like, there's so many videos on how to do it. But in case you didn't know, that's a lot of times how you get those bulkheads in on the bottom of the tank. You just simply, you know, you're basically, lack of a better term, if I can do this with one hand, you're doing that. You know, you make sure your threads are to the outside of the tank. You're going in through the top like that, and then you're coming in, and then you get another set of fingers on there, and you just pull it through, and then you screw on your nut. So it's funny, I keep this hanger underneath my little cart right here, and I literally just stuff it underneath of that, you know, and I can't count how many times I've used that hanger just to get out of a pinch, you know, and putting stuff into these tanks through the years. So a quick tip on that. But again, that's kind of where we're at. Excited, you know, for the main pieces to be hopefully coming in tomorrow, and just little by little we're going to start chipping away at it. So again, thanks for watching. Like and subscribe. If you have any comments, any questions, give me a holler. If you see something that I could improve or do differently, I'm always open to discussing that. I'm always open to learning. So appreciate it, guys. Have a great day. Talk to you soon.